Hello everyone, I hope you are doing great. Today we are going to see an introduction about applied linguistics. Okay, so the course description consists of the following. So the first thing is that we are going to see definitions of key concepts. The second section is devoted to language learning approaches. The third section is devoted to language teaching approaches, and the fourth section is devoted to first and second language acquisition, theories, error analysis, etc. So let's start with definitions of key terms. So applied linguistics mostly deals with the teaching and learning of languages. In general, it involves the application of linguistics to other disciplines like psychology, sociology, neurology, among others. Hence, we have psycholinguistics, sociolinguistics, neurolinguistics as branches of applied linguistics. So these are like two traditions with regard to definitions of key terms. We have, or applied linguistics, we have the British tradition that relates applied linguistics to teaching and learning of languages, and the American tradition that relates applied linguistics to broader issues like the ones described here. All right, so let's start with learning approaches within this British tradition. So we have many learning approaches, among which are behaviorism, that is, learning is based on stimulus response reinforcement chain. That is, we keep repeating many times till we master that skill or that structure. Okay, so behaviorism was developed by Pavlov and Skinner when they were doing some experiments concerning food and dogs. So every time the bell rings, the food is brought to dogs. So the dogs associated the bell with the food. So and they built this habit. So it's about habit formation. Constructivism is about the construction of knowledge through asking questions, through discussion, etc. We have socioconstructivism developed by Vygotsky, and it concerns developing knowledge through interaction with more capable peers, like when we learn from other experienced students or teachers. So this is the main principle of socioconstructivism. We have Gestaltism. This is a theory, Germany, in like a German theory that is, it was developed in Germany, and it involves the principle or the principles of the parts constitute the whole. So we have this closed task when people or students keep adding words to blanks or to fill in blanks. That is like they try to complete the whole from the parts. So this is like the basic principle of this theory. This is what concerns learning approaches. Language theories, we have structuralism, that is based on the idea that language is a structure, in the sense that we have phonetic structures, we have phonological structures, we have semantic structures, pragmatic structures, morphological structures, syntactic structures, among others. So this is what structuralism is about. And we have cognitivism, that is based on the idea of generating limitless number of words from limited number of or limitless number of sentences from limited number of words, because the language learning process is a creative process, and it is based on this language acquisition device that is based on the mind as developed by Chomsky. All right, so this is like the notion of cognitivism. So these are two main language theories. They concern the views about the language. For teaching methods or approaches, so there is this distinction according to Larson and Freeman and Rogers concerning the different concepts like the approach, the method, the technique, or the procedure. So we can see it as a hierarchical model in the sense that approach is larger than the method and the technique. The technique is part and parcel of the method. Alright, so here we have some methods, so to speak. We have the grammar translation method. That was an old method of teaching that was based on reading comprehension texts and translating words from the source language to or into the target language to learn new vocabulary and new words. We have the audio language method that is based on listening and speaking and inductive teaching of grammar, etc. You have to read about these principles. We have the direct method in which the focus is mainly on the exclusive use of the language. We have the silent way in which the teacher just elaborates using gestures, etc. apart from words. We have Suggestopedia that is based on the effective side of students in the sense that students can learn and listen to music at the same time, give them a good mood. We have total physical response that is again based on gestures. We have community language learning. We have a communicative approach, which is a well-known approach that is renowned for the use of authentic tasks, realia, role plays, among other techniques. So these are the main teaching methods in general. You can go over each one and study it in detail. We have again first and second language acquisition, and we have for first language acquisition it concerns mainly children, and we have different stages of first language acquisition, like the babbling stage, the holophrastic stage, the telegraphic stage, etc. Following the phases, a baby acquires the language that is the mother tongue. And for second language acquisition, Krashen's five hypotheses of first and second language acquisition consist of the distinction between learning and acquisition. Learning is a conscious process. We learn a language, we wake up early, we go to the classroom, we listen to the teacher, we take notes, we take exams or tests, etc. Whereas acquisition is a subconscious process, that is, we are not aware of it. We have natural order hypothesis in the sense that some words or some structures are learned naturally, that is, from the most complex concepts to the simplest concepts to the most complex ones. Alright, so the monitor hypothesis, this means that when we speak, we keep thinking. So here there is this interference of the mother tongue. We have the affective filter that is related to anxiety, that is students who are anxious tend to learn less effectively than other students. Alright, so the emotional side is really crucial when it comes to learning or acquiring a language. And then we have the input hypothesis. So Krashen called this input plus one, that is what the teacher provides students with should be just a little bit beyond their capacities, not too much. If it is input plus 10, for instance, the students will hate the teacher and will hate the subject. Alright, so this is what is meant by the input. So there's this difference also between input and intake. That is what students can grasp. So this is like the main distinction. Then we have error analysis and interlanguage. Error analysis was developed by Coda, interlanguage by Selenka, among others. So here, error analysis, in fact, is used in identifying types of mistakes, errors, and slips of the tongue in learning a language. It consists of classifying them, studying their causes, whether they are caused by interference of the mother tongue or this negative transfer, and it also can be caused by positive transfer. In this case, they may not be considered errors. We have also this distinction between errors which are systematic, that is to say learners are not aware of them. We have mistakes that are, of performance issues. Maybe students are tired or they may not pay attention. So this is an example of mistake. And we have slips of the tongue again, the concern tiredness among other factors. Interlanguage is a transitional competence as called by NEMSER. So this means that when we as students learn a language, we never reach this native competence, we reach just a native like competence. So we are in a road to this full competence. So this is what is called interlanguage, and each one of us is at certain stage within this interlanguage development. All right, so that's it, and these are some readings in case you are interested. And if you have questions or remarks, do not hesitate to post them below or contact me via my WhatsApp or one of my social media. And see you in another tutorial.